number of terror attacks in Pakistan is only increasing, and large number of Pakistani army soldiers and paramilitary forces are being killed. Is the Pakistan's policy of nurturing terrorism responsible for it? How do we analyze the terrorism which is going against Pakistan? In nutshell, Pakistan's obsession was to take away Kashmir from India. Therefore, it fought 3 wars with India: the 1947 war, the 1965 war, and the 1971 war. All the wars it lost, and after losing the 71 war, it realized that it could never take away Kashmir from India by launching a conventional war. So therefore, it started a new war called Operation Karakoram, which was basically carrying out using terrorists as a weapon and trying to liberate Kashmir from India. So therefore, it had 3 parts: K1, K2, and K3: Khalistani terrorism, Kashmir terrorism, and terrorism in the rest of the country. So thereafter, basically Pakistan was using terrorism as a tool to subdue India, create unrest in India, and thereby try to liberate, take away Kashmir from Pakistan, and of course creating all the unrest inside India. But now the same terrorists are now going against Pakistan. What has happened is Pakistan today has become a sanctuary of terrorism all over the world. There are 3 types of terrorists which are there in Pakistan. One are the Lashkar-e-Taliban, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahid, etc. These are the terrorists which act against India. So Pakistan is definitely nurturing them, providing them support of recruitment, money, training, etc. Then there is a second set of terrorists which have made Pakistan as their homeland. These are the international terrorists like the Taliban, like the Al-Qaeda, like the ISIS, etc. So they have their sanctuaries there. One would remember that all the Al-Qaeda chiefs have been found to be staying in Pakistan. They are supported somewhat by Pakistan. But the third set of terrorists is what is creating problem for Pakistan, and they are terrorists like the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is basically a group based in Afghanistan which carries out regular terror attacks against Pakistan, and their aim is to liberate Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, or earlier called as Northwest Frontier Province, and make it join Afghanistan. The number of terror attacks has increased so much that Pakistani army is carrying out continuous anti-terrorist operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and also other areas. In addition to that, there are 2 more major groups which are acting against Pakistan. One of them is called the Balochistan Liberation Army. It is basically a separatist military organization operating in Baluchistan against Pakistani army, and it wants an independent Baluchistan, and it has targeted Pakistani security forces, infrastructure, etc. And they carry out actions like bombing, actions like assassination, attacks on security forces. The third group is called the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi group, which is basically a Sunni extremist group which primarily targets the Shia Muslims in Pakistan, and it has carried out number of attacks on the Pakistani security forces also. In addition to that, there are groups in Sindh Liberation Movement which wants Sindh to be liberated separately. So there are a number of terrorist groups, call it number of liberation groups, which act against the Pakistani security forces and carry out violent activities to fulfill their aims. What is the level of violence? It is said that if you say from 2000 onwards, there have been more than 16,000 terror attacks in which 21,000 civilians have been killed, 8,000 plus security forces have been killed, 34,000 various forms of liberation armies have been killed, making a total of 66,000 plus, which means today Pakistan is one of the most affected states as far as terrorism is concerned. But Pakistan is not willing to learn. It is carrying out anti-terrorist operations by using helicopter gunships, by using air force, by using drones, by using big weapons. Compare it with the Indian Army. Indian Army carries out anti-terror operations inside Kashmir or anywhere by using only small arms, and no big weapon is used. So therefore, while it may Pakistani army may kill few terrorists here and there, but then it results into more terrorists coming up and joining the terror rank. So therefore, the terror activities which Pakistan was basically using against India has now turned against Pakistan, and Taliban, which is now ruling Afghanistan. Pakistan thought that with the help of Taliban they will reignite jihad in Kashmir, but instead of that, now the Talibanis are attacking by using conventional weapons on Pakistan only. So basically, Taliban has gone against Pakistan. The Lashkar-e-Taliban, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is acting against the security forces. Also the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, also the Balochistan Liberation Army, and many other groups. So therefore, Pakistan today is responsible for rearing snakes in its own backyard, which are now being used against Pakistan, and Pakistani security forces are suffering hell of a lot. The second point at issue is the human rights violation. Now today, Pakistani army carries out lot of human rights violations when it carries out anti-terror acts. The reasons are very, very clear. The human rights violations are being done in Baluchistan, it is being done in Sindh, it is being done in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, also called as Northwest Frontier provinces, and the human rights violations include human rights abuses, extrajudicial killing, enforced disappearances, torture, arbitrary detention, restrictions on freedom of expression and assembly of people. In fact, in Baluchistan, a lot of allegations of human rights abuses committed by the Pakistani army and the intelligence agencies have been recorded, and today there are Baluchistan human rights organizations who have websites where the actual figures of targeted killing, enforced disappearances of activists, journalists, political dissenters have been given, their names have been given, and in fact the elected representatives of Baluchistan today is blaming the Pakistani army and the intelligence agencies of carrying out human rights excesses in Baluchistan. Something similar is happening in Sindh also, where number of people have disappeared, extrajudicial killings have taken place, targeting of activists is being done, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa there are also again similar kind of extrajudicial killings that take place. Now, what the world has to need to do is bring out these extrajudicial killings and other violations to the light of the world. We have United Nations Human Rights Commission, which should carry out a survey as to what is happening there, and it should ensure that this kind of an impunity which Pakistani army has to carry out human rights violation is stopped, and independent inquiry and impartial mechanism is there to investigate allegations and prosecute those who are responsible. The government of Pakistan also must ensure that the rule of law is strengthened and no extrajudicial killings take place. The human rights of the Baluchistanis, the Baluchis, the Sindhis, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people must be ensured, and also judicial independence should be ensured so that the judiciary is able to investigate all the cases of disappearances. And also Pakistan by itself is not going to do any of these sorts. Pakistan today is in doldrums because of its problems of economy. So therefore pressure must be put on Pakistan that should you want any help from International Monetary Fund, you must stop all the human rights violations which are taking place today in Pakistan. Jai Hind.